You've chosen this video because you want to learn how to factor quadratics when a is greater than 1. This video covers how to factor when a is greater than 1 using the AC method with division. There are three main other methods for factoring quadratics. I have videos on all of those other methods as well, so you should match up what your teacher is doing in class. The other methods are, two of them are pretty old school. There's a guess and check method, and then there's the AC method with grouping. Then there's also a newer method, which is called the X or diamond with the box method. I'll show you this neat method using division, but if this does not look familiar to you, then you should see the links at the bottom in the description to the other factoring methods. Here's our first example. Now, of course, we always first look for a greatest common factor between our terms, but 10, 17, and 3 do not have any common factors, and we can see that a is greater than 1. So a is equal to 10, b is equal to negative 17, and c is equal to 3, because our quadratic is in standard form of ax squared plus bx plus c. So a is a coefficient of x squared, b is a coefficient of x, and c is our constant. The first thing you do is multiply a times c. So in this case, that would be 10 times 3, which is 30. Then your next step is that you rewrite your equation above like this, x squared, and then you keep your b, you keep that the same, but then you change this to 30. Then this becomes a quadratic where a equals 1, and so you just have to find two numbers that multiply to positive 30 and add to negative 17. So what are those two numbers? Negative 15 and negative 2. So then we write our factors like we normally would if we were really just factoring this quadratic. We use these two numbers in our factors. So it would be x minus 15 times x minus 2. Now, of course, if you multiply these out, you would not get this original quadratic. So you know that this can't be the factored form. So here's where the division part comes in. Now you divide by a. Our original a value was 10, so we're going to divide this by 10 and this by 10. When we do that, we have to simplify. So 15 divided by 5 is 3, 10 divided by 5 is 2, 2 divided by 2 is 1, 10 divided by 2 is 5. So you have to get these fractions in simplest form. Then you are going to put this number that's in the denominator back in front of the x. So this now becomes 2x minus 3, and this becomes 5x minus 1. And that is our factored form, and we're going to check this with multiplying. But I just want to show you again. So this 2 goes in front of this x, and then this 3, you bring that down. And then this 5 goes in front of this x, and then this is just minus 1 that's left here. Now, we can multiply back out to check it. You always should do that whenever you're factoring. So 2x times 5x is 10x squared. That's what we had here. 2x times negative 1 is minus 2x. Negative 3 times 5x is negative 15. So negative 2x minus 15x, that's our negative 17x. And then negative 3 times negative 1 is positive 3. So you can see that this is correctly factored. So this is a pretty neat method. Let's do another example. But thank you for choosing Math with Caroline. Please give a thumbs up if you're learning, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Here's our second example. Now, of course, when we're factoring, we always look for the greatest common factor first. Is there a common factor between 7, 26, and -8? No, there is not. So let's do our first step of multiplying a times c. In that case, that's 7 times -8. Make sure that you leave this negative on the 8. And so that is -56. Then our second step is that we rewrite our equation with an a value equal to 1. And we keep this the same. And then we substitute this AC in for here. Now we just need to find two numbers that multiply to -56 and add to 26. Now you can use a calculator to do that if you need to, and you might have to write down some factors to figure out what those factors would be. So you know that 56, you know that that's 7 times 8, but that's not going to get you 26. 56 is also 4 times 14, but that's also not going to give us 26. It's also 2 times 28, and that will give us 26, since one of those has to be negative, since the 56 is negative. So since the 26 is positive, the 28 is going to be positive, and the 2 is going to be negative. So those are our two numbers that we will put in our parentheses, x minus 2 times x plus 28. That would give us a positive 26x and a negative 56 if we multiply this back out. But of course, this is not the factored form of this. So here's where the division part comes in. So you have to divide by the original a value, which is a 7. So we're going to divide by 7, divide by 7. Now we cannot simplify 2/7 anymore, but 28 divided by 7 is 4 over 1. So then we have to rewrite it, because we're not going to leave factors with fractions, and so we're going to put this 7 in front of this x, and make this 7x minus 2, and then this one is x plus 4. Since this is just a 1, we're not going to write the 1 in front of the x, and then this is simplified to 4, so the 4 goes here. And then we're going to multiply to check it. 7x times x is 7x squared. 7x times positive 4 is plus 28x. Negative 2 times x is minus 2x. And negative 2 times positive 4 is negative 8. And then we can see that this is going to be 7x squared plus 26x, which is what we have here, minus 8. So we know that this is correct. I hope that you've learned how to use the AC method with division. Please leave a comment. I would love to hear from you.